StoryCon presents BackStory, a podcast featuring writers, readers, and their stories, hosted by bestselling author Jennifer A. Nielsen.
If there was anything Brodi could always count on, it was the speed of her writing. Need 5,000 words by the end of the week? She was on it. Hard deadline? No problem. Twitter, now X, used to have these half-hour Twitter wars, and at the bottom of the hour, everyone would come back with their word count. 2,000 words? Easy. Even if Brodi procrastinated, it was no big deal. Words flowed from her mind onto the page like an infinite river. Then came COVID. It hit Brodi more than most. She ended up in the hospital more than once and left her with what she describes as a brain fog. She began missing deadlines, something that had never happened for her before. And the more she missed, the more those deadlines loomed over her. She could not write fast enough to keep up. Some days, she couldn't write at all. That led to a kind of depression, and who wouldn't feel that way? I think of it like a scene from Dr. Strange. What does the brilliant surgeon do when he can no longer do surgery, the thing he does? And for Brodi, what does a brilliant author do when all she can do is stare at her keyboard and blank screen, and hours later, it would still be a blank screen? Eventually, she needed to address that situation. So she checked into a hospital to deal with her mental health needs. That was a difficult choice and left her feeling like a failure in a way she had never experienced in her entire life. Surely now the life she'd once had felt like it was gone forever. Maybe her career itself was also gone forever. Because the words would not come. Her brain remained silent. And then Brodi learned the most wonderful word: no. No, she didn't have to do that. No, she didn't have to accept that. No, she did not have to sacrifice herself to say yes. This wasn't some overnight transformation, of course. In fact, in some ways, it's still a transformation to set boundaries and be okay with that. But to Brodi's surprise, others respected those boundaries. What she discovered was not what she had expected, that it was better for her to say no than to say yes and miss a deadline. And no, Brodi did not have to be everything to everyone, because this is a tough career. That's the truth of it. It's not always true that if you get an agent, everything will work out, or if you get a publishing contract, that your career is set, or if you hit the New York Times list, or if a movie is made of your book. Sometimes, and most of the time, the author tries every single day to be the best they can for that day, and then hope that tomorrow will take care of itself. In the end, we're all just human. And as humans, we each have our limitations. But that may be the best news of all. Because as it turns out, humans with limitations can still have great and amazing careers. Such is true with my wonderful guest coming this week, Brodi Ashton. She is proof that when we get knocked down, we can always get back up one more time. Please join me next week for my interview with the most amazing Brodi Ashton.
Thank you for listening to BackStory. If you'd like to enjoy more episodes, visit us at storycon.org/backstory.